5 of the last 6 years, these teams have split their annual combo of games. New England's won the toss, deferred to the second half, so Miami will receive Stephen Gostkowski's kickoff. Nolan Carroll's back deep, and it has been a long time since the Dolphins have had a home kickoff return for a touchdown. 1970, the last time at home. Miami's taking one back all the way. Off we go from Miami. This one's not going anywhere. It's out of the end zone. Good kick by Gostkowski. Michigan quarterbacks both ways. Tom Brady coming up when the Patriots get the ball, but now Chad Henne, who essentially is through one full season. John, he's 9-7 in his 16 starts. This is his 17th start. I know it's his third year, but it's about one full year as a starter. We're starting to see that growth you expect about this time.
And he's a confident leader, and the Miami Dolphin players are very impressed with that. He understands this offense, and there's a lot to understand. Dan Henning does as much as any offensive coordinator in the league. This kid can really throw it.
Ronnie Brown is his running back to get us going. Play action. They've taken downfield shots early on this year. This one is Brown. It's a dozen yards. First down. Rob Ninkovich sends him to the sideline. So Henne has with him the second and third all-time leading rushers in Dolphin history. Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown. The tight end Fasano. And we mentioned Brandon Marshall at the top. Devon Best does a terrific job as a slot receiver. Up front, #1 overall pick a couple of years ago, Jake Long has been to the Pro Bowl his first 2 years. Incognito, Berger, McQuiston inside. McQuiston starts for the injured rookie, John Jerry, missing his second game tonight. Brian Hartline, the other receiver, gets 3 yards as Devin McCourty tackles it for the New England defense. You know, I guess the best-known defensive player over here is Vince Wilfork. He's the one guy who's been around for a while. Gerard Warren, the former #3 overall pick, also out there. Who rushes the passer? That's the question. A couple of rookies starting in linebacker, former Gators, Jermaine Cunningham and Brandon Spikes, with Mayo and Ninkovich. And in the secondary, that youth, Kyle Arrington, undrafted his second year. McCourty, the first-round pick out of Rutgers. So 3 rookies starting for the Patriots here tonight. First run, a draw with Brown, and he'll get it up to the 34-yard line.
And you mentioned Vince Wilfork. Already Bill Belichick has adjusted his front. Mike Wright has opened this game at nose, and Vince Wilfork plays the first couple plays at defensive end over on Vernon Carey. The Dolphins have 3 new inside players. Center Berger, Incognito at left guard, McQuiston at right guard. Look for the Patriots to challenge the inside 3 of the Dolphins.
Third and 3, a lot of time for Henne. First down, Fasano work in the middle of the field. Takes it to the 40, gain of 20.
You'll see number 99, John just spoke about him, Mike Wright, drop out from a defensive line position and drop into pass coverage. You'll see Henne as he sets up in the pocket. There's Wright dropping back, but look at Fasano sit down in the hole, and Henne found him very easily. Read the zone perfectly.
Henne 3 for 3 thus far. From behind, almost knocked out, and he is brought down. Tully Banta-Cain brought the pressure, slapped at the ball, and eventually the sack is a loss of 5.
That's what you want to see from Tully Banta-Cain, who led the Patriots last year in sacks. And for him to edge Jake Long and get a big one right there is huge for New England. They need Tully Banta-Cain to regain that form he had last season. Watch him coming off the ball here, working on Jake Long, just relentless around the corner. He does a nice job.
One of those plays where Henne could have helped Jake Long by stepping up a bit.
Brandon Marshall comes out of the backfield. They go the other way with Ronnie Brown. Got the penalty of sack yardage back, I should say, to the 36. Berger was out there, made a nice block for Miami.
Yeah, you'll see a nice screen right here. One-man screen to get Ronnie Brown out in front of, behind Berger, and Berger gets a nice kick-out block and takes it up the field.
Ronnie Brown back after he broke his right foot. Game 9 of the season. We were here for a Monday nighter last year.
There's the Wildcat. Didn't take long.
John's excited again.
This is the team that the Dolphins unveiled the Wildcat against a couple of years ago. Brown chooses to keep it. But Merriweather and the rookie Jermaine Cunningham combine to shut it down. 4th down.
That's what you need to do. When you find out it's the Wildcat, you have to bring pressure most of the time off of both edges. And here Merriweather's quick to support. He's unblocked, and that's been the demise this season of the Wildcat. Defenses have recognized it, and they've been able to get to some automatic defenses. And Miami's got to adjust or table that for a while,
They'll
Josh.
take that Wildcat to the Miami Zoo.
Brandon Fields got a lot of hang time on this. Going back to catch it, and Muffet is Welker. Wes able to get his hands on it, and let's see if he did recover. He also got bent awkwardly there. It is Patriots ball back at the 10-yard line. So Welker, who made his name in college as a great punt returner, goes back and muffs that one, but able to get on it at the 10, and the Patriots take over from there.
Have vision.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by FIFA Soccer 11. Available now. Rated everyone. EA Sports. It's in the game. GMC. Check out the GMC Never Say Never moment of the week at NFL.com/GMC and ESPNShop.com. Get all of your official NFL sideline gear at ESPNShop.com.
From a Neil Young song to a James Bond film, plenty of famous people have talked about, seen, and been seen in the Fontainebleau Hotel, Miami Beach, not too far from where we are, between Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Scoreless, Patriots able to keep it after Wes Welker muffed that punt, and now Tom Brady takes over, going for win number 100 in his career as a starting quarterback in his 131st start. See the numbers, 8 touchdowns, 2 picks. Just kind of feels like the Tom Brady we got used to seeing pre-knee injury. He looks very comfortable and confident at the start this year.
Yeah, Mike, I totally agree with you. In fact, talking to Tom last night, he talked about his comfort level right now. He loves this offense and this design and the weapons.
Ben Jarvis Green Ellis is the top running back for the Pats tonight. He'll gain about 6 yards from the 27-yard line. Maroney traded, Falk injured, Fred Taylor out tonight. So Ben Jarvis Green Ellis and Sammy Morris will be the backs. Aaron Hernandez, rookie tight end out of Florida, big impact on this game and team with Moss and Welker, the standard bearers. As for up front, Logan Mankin still out with a contract dispute. Dan Connolly has filled in nicely. And over the right tackle, Sebastian Vollmer is in for the injured Nick Casual, out again tonight with a back injury.
And Tom Brady in this empty formation, no backs in the backfield. They've used this 25 times this year, more than any team in the league.
Brady sends out 5. The Dolphins rushed only 2. And the pass is incomplete, intended for Brandon Tate. Ron, this is something you're highlighting on this game. The Patriots with no backs.
Yeah, and Tom Brady loves it. He loves to make quick decisions, get the ball out of his hand. And when you go empty, you better have a quarterback that understands that. Because teams, they will either blitz it or play coverage. You saw right there the Dolphins chose coverage. But look at this, Brady with this empty backfield. Wow, 19 of 24, 1 touchdown, no interception. Tom very comfortable out of the empty set.
The back with him now is Danny Woodhead, the former Jet. 3rd and 4. Brady flushed. Wake hit him. And the pass was knocked down. It's 4th down. Cameron Wake was everywhere.
Well, this is one of my favorite guys in the league. Take a look at the effort of Cameron Wake coming off the edge here on Sebastian Vollmer. He's being blocked. He stays alive. He stays after Brady and knocks him down and forces an incomplete pass. Cameron Wake came from no place. He was in Canada for 2 years. This is a great story, and he's clearly the best pass rusher the Dolphins have.
Rookie punter Zoltan Mesko out of Michigan. Devon Bess to receive. Booming kick. 63 yards. Bess has room. And he's brought down at the 36-yard line. Cameron Wake, you mentioned a former CFL Defensive Player of the Year. 2nd-year Dolphin with an impact. Well, the Dolphins, Patriots joining the rest of the NFL and its players supporting October's National Breast Cancer Awareness Month across the league. All the pink that you saw yesterday continuing on through the month. You can learn more about the NFL's A Crucial Catch Breast Cancer Awareness Campaign. Visit NFL.com/pink. We salute the NFL for putting its power behind a most worthy attention getter. Any first down, Devon Bess underneath, keeps his feet. And into Patriots territory, tackled by Mayo at the 43, a gain of 21.
Everybody talks about Wes Welker, and rightfully so. But this Devon Bess is outstanding in his own right. Watch how quick he is on the under route. Good throw, but watch him get up the field after the catch. Devon Bess is one of the most unheralded slot receivers in all of football. Hard to tackle after the catch.
Ricky Williams, the back. Got a good block from McQuiston. Got a first down, gain of 10 at age 33. He keeps going. Ricky Williams, who won the Heisman, it feels like a lifetime ago, in '98, drafted by the Saints when Ditka traded his whole draft to get him. He had those great, unbelievable years here in Miami where they used him as much as any back had been used over the last decade, and came back and had over 1,000 yards last season.
Still a very patient runner. He set up that block by McQuiston with the patience.
Williams toss to the 26. Good first down game. Right now, Miami's doing whatever they want.
They are pounding New England right now. Mike Wright, as we said earlier, playing the nose position. They're just running away from Vince Wilfork. Wilfork is lining up on the right side of the Dolphins. They're running left and having success with Ricky Williams, who can still get it done.
Well, why wouldn't you run left? Big old Jake Long at left tackle, a dominant football player, but the Patriots must do a better job of setting the edge.
Once again, Williams. They're close to the first down. Mayo, Arrington coming through. He's the one difference maker they have up front. Wilfork.
Well, Vince Wilfork, clearly the best run defender the Patriots have. Vernon Carey's the right tackle of the Miami Dolphins, and that's where Wilfork is. So Miami's going to run left. We're going to run away from Wilfork, and we're going to give the ball to the 230-pound workhorse, Ricky Williams, until New England stops it. Why would you run into Vince Wilfork when you don't have to?
It did pick up a first down. Dolphins go with two tight ends here. Mickey Schuler, son of the former Jets tight end, checked in. Play and the sub came in a little bit late. Henny burns his first timeout halfway through the first, and the Dolphins driving. Dean Pease was the defensive coordinator for New England last year. He's moved on now to Baltimore. Make no mistake, that's the defensive coordinator of the New England Patriots. There's no coordinator listed by title, but Bill Belichick is handling everything. He's leading the defense in the meetings. Tony Sperano, the Dolphins head coach, the former offensive line coach with Bill Parcells in Dallas. That's the common tie that binds here tonight. These two guys off the Parcells tree going head to head. Miami called timeout. Ricky Williams back for 1st and 10. And Henny back to the air. It's another one. It's Ricky. 3 yards shy of the first down, but a gain of about 7.
What you're seeing is the maturation of Chad Henne. The play was designed to get a corner route. It wasn't there. He was patient downfield, checked it down in the flat, make a positive play. You'll see it right here. Off the play action, you'll see the deep routes to the corner. Not there. Check it out in the flat. Move the chains right now. Henne, 6 for 6. Throwing to the right people.
Ronnie Brown now checks in, bounces it to the outside. Merriweather couldn't tackle him. It's a first down, but we have our first marker of the night. We have Walt Coleman as our referee.
Holding, number 68, offense. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Richie Incognito called there. You mentioned the play-action passing game and what that has done to this young Patriots back seven here over the first 3 games, Ron.
Yeah, and play action's all about disorienting the defense, and you can see against the Patriots, the play action's been very successful. 13 of 16, 192 yards. It really does. When you have secondary people that have a tendency to look in the backfield, a tendency not to understand route combinations, you're going to get out of position. That's what has happened so far for this Patriots secondary and their linebackers included in that.
Ronnie Brown got a good block from the fullback, Polite. Takes it back into the red zone, the 19-yard line. Brandon Spikes, the rookie linebacker, one of the men on the tackle.
But success on first down, that's the key for the New England Patriots defense. They have got to stop Miami on first down. If New England is in a lot of 2nd and 4s and 2nd and 3s, which they have been on this drive, they're going to be very vulnerable to the play action pass.
Patriots 1 drive, 3 and out. See if the Dolphins can get anything out of having the ball here for most of the quarter. And he's throw. Best catches it in front of the safety, Chung, to the end zone. And in. Touchdown, Miami.
Well, he runs a little option route, breaks to the outside. He dives for the front side pylon. That's the guy we've talked about all week, Jaws. Devon Bess can really run routes. He's sure-handed, quarterback friendly, and excellent after the catch.
So John, he defines it quickly for the quarterback. That's what quarterback friendly means. You saw Henny look over there. He knew exactly what he had when Devon Bess came out of his break.
I think Mr. Sperano's fired up. 7-0 Fins. Devon Bess really made a name for himself in his 3 years when he was at Hawaii. June Jones, former NFL coach, a terrific job with the passing offense there. Bess thrived in that system and has really found a home here in Miami. Catches the touchdown. And this New England defense a little confused and a little gassed after that opening first and second drive. The second one paying off with a touchdown. Brandon Tate back to take it back for the Pats. Took one back for a touchdown against Cincinnati, but meets Bobby Carpenter at the 23-yard line. Brady was under pressure in that opening drive. He's got some work to do. A deficit for the Pats. One of the great defensive minds of his generation, Bill Belichick, in there trying to get his guys on the same page.
Well, it's maximum protection. Miami has Marshall at the bottom of the screen. He's doubled, so we're going to work up top. And they just take Brian Hartline and clear him out. And clearly Patrick Chung, number 25, and James Sanders have Bess doubled in and out. They blow the coverage, and if you do that, you're going to see Coach Belichick a lot in your meeting rooms.
And he won't be happy.
New England takes over at the 24. 3 and out first drive. Brady's pass complete to Brandon Tate. 8th catch of the year for the second-year man out of North Carolina against Carlos Dansby in this Miami defense. Let's introduce you to these guys. Not as well known as past defenses for the Dolphins. Langford Soliai is playing the nose tonight because Randy Starks moves to right end. Their first-round pick, Jared Odrick's out again. Koamisi, a rookie linebacker. Dansby, Cameron Wake, impact already. Vontae Davis will see Moss a lot tonight. Jason Allen gave up big plays to Braylon Edwards last week. And Jarvis Green Ellis runs to the 38-yard line. A little bit of background on Green Ellis. We mentioned earlier that Kevin Falk hurt his knee, out for the season. Fred Taylor's out tonight because of the toe. They traded Lawrence Maroney to Denver, and all of a sudden, because of the attrition, this guy, who spent his first 2 years at Indiana, last 2 years at Ole Miss, becomes the #1 back and did a pretty good job in that role last week against Buffalo. Here's a 3 tight end look that John told us about in Countdown. It gives Brady time to come downfield to Aaron Hernandez, the rookie, to the 26-yard line. Penalty marker down, back by the quarterback.
Holding, number 72. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Erasing a 36-yard gain.
Well, it's on the right tackle, Sebastian Vollmer. He's on the opposite side of the screen. Brady's got all day. They max protected this play action pass. See if you can see Vollmer there. I didn't see much on the right side.
Yeah, this is their shot play, John. You know, when they go max protection, they're going to look to Moss deep down the field, but that created a big void for Hernandez.
I think they may have the number wrong. I think it was Wake on Wake. Yeah, tackling Cameron Wake was making his presence felt. There he is, bottom of the screen. Coming at Brady, almost got him again. Tate with the catch, shy of the 35. Here's the guy you folks highlighted earlier.
Yeah, Cameron Wake is really cranking it up right now. You know, you don't have Joey Porter. You don't have Jason Taylor. Where's the pressure come from? Look at this guy in that four-point stance, much like Jason Taylor, leapfrogging into the backfield. He explodes off the football, and for a guy that size, can really dip that shoulder and corner around an offensive tackle. Cameron Wake was having an impact early in this game.
Brady comes back this way to Rob Gronkowski, eluded one tackle. Coming off the line, Kendall Langford makes the tackle. And the Patriots will have to punt again.
You know, sometimes it's not about scheme, it's not about design, it's about energy. And right now, the Miami Dolphins have great energy. They are flying around the football field.
Best goes back. Great 60-yard pick by Zoltan Mesko. First time around. Nowhere near as good. It was 40 yards. Best took it on the run and brought it back to the 33-yard line. Just a net of 29 on that kick. Next Monday night, Brett Favre returns to the place where he briefly called home. The Jets, where Mark Sanchez has stepped in. The leaders of this division, Jets, Vikings, next Monday night, 8:30 Eastern time. And we know it's been a struggle for Favre and the Vikings, who were off yesterday. But look at Favre's passer ranking, way down there with those 6 picks. Meantime, Sanchez, since we left him that opening Monday night against Baltimore, really not only hit it well, but did it against 3 division opponents, too.
And he gets some help. Santonio Holmes be coming back, another explosive dimension.
The 33, Chad Henne's pass is incomplete. He tends to do that once a quarter as one of those passes that doesn't look too good. You know, I'm thinking back to the Monday night game we had with the Jets and the Dolphins, and last week, the young quarterbacks in this division like Sanchez. Ron, where do you see Henne as he's now making that development step?
Mike, he gets better every single week. You know, he learned behind Chad Pennington, and I love a quarterback learn the old-fashioned way. When you finally have to go on the field, you're now ready to play.
Henne was a late second-round pick out of Michigan in 2008. Ronnie Brown, met by Vince Wilfork, doesn't go anywhere, and it's a loss of a yard. Remember that 2008 season, Pennington was acquired in the preseason to just kind of get somebody in here to be the quarterback. Henne got to learn by watching Pennington, and then now the next step was the transition after Chad Pennington got hurt. Chad Henne took over last year and has gone just anything but just straightforward.
That's a good offense for him. It's a balanced offense, and he spends a lot of time under the center. He's in the shotgun less than any quarterback in the league. He's comfortable right here underneath.
The 3rd and 11. And time. Good job by the line. Underneath again, Best. Another first down. He has become a 3rd down pickup machine.
Quarterback friendly, but it starts with the pass protection. No one is near Chad Henne on this play. As he drops back, you'll see no wide open lanes to throw the football into. Let the defense expand, then come back underneath of Devon Best. And if I talk about quarterback friendly, there you go. Settle down, give the quarterback a nice target to throw to, and then take it up the field.
Got to make the tackle.
Play action with Ricky Williams. Looking downfield for Marshall, and it's intercepted. Good job by Rob Ninkovich, who smelled that out. And the linebacker from Purdue picks off Henne.
That's great preparation by the Patriot defense. They've seen this motion. They've seen this action. they've seen this play action pass. But take a look at Ninkovich. He's going to be over here on the right side, dropping into coverage. Take a look at it. He's the outside linebacker off the screen, but he read it all the way and made an excellent play on the ball. But that's a pattern that I'm sure the Patriots worked in practice all week. And Ninkovich, as an outside linebacker, did an excellent job running vertical with a wide receiver there.
First career interception for Ninkovich. Third drive for the Patriots. Then Jarvis, Green Ellis cut it up. Got about 5 yards. Michael Belichick told us about this kid out of New Orleans, St. Augustine High School. When we asked about Green Ellis, he always seems to push the pile forward. He's not a wow guy, not a speed guy, but he gets what's blocked and then maybe a yard or two more. Good back for this offense.
You would call this a Bill Belichick type player. One of those quiet guys, just goes about his business and does things the right way.
Undrafted free agent. Green Ellis running to the right. Algie Crumpler held on to the block. And there goes Green Ellis to get to the first down. What I love about the Patriots is the tempo of their offense. Brady gets up to the line with time to take care of all those veteran things.
Well, there's an urgency in the way they substitute. These guys come on and off quickly. There's an urgency in which Brady gets the plays called in the huddle. And there's an urgency in which they break the huddle. But Tom Brady will snap the ball inside of 5 seconds more than any quarterback in football. They play with a great tempo.
First time in Dolphin territory. They'll sneak one more play in. Coming from the back is Jeremiah Bell. They got it to Aaron Hernandez, who cannot get back to the line of scrimmage. They ran that little tight end around last week and handed it to Hernandez. This time try to just shovel it out to him. They lose yards as the quarter comes to an end. Miami dominates the first, leading 7-0 on Monday Night Football. Watch Tom Brady on Monday Night Football go for a little bit of history. He's going for 100 wins in his 131st start. Montana took 139. He's the standard. Bradshaw, Favre, Manning, none of them will equal Brady's quick route to 100 as long as Tom gets that win in the next 8 games. He's sitting on 99 right now. Hey guys, you think about September 10th. If Brady, remember that was the day he had the car accident on the way to work. Thankfully, everything was okay with that. He drove back home with a 4-year, $72 million deal. Yet, as he told us last night, he still has a chip on his shoulder.
Oh, I love being around Tom Brady. Here's a guy that's accomplished about everything you'd want to accomplish as a quarterback, and he still plays angry. He does carry that chip on his shoulder from being a 6th-round draft choice.
Pass to Aaron Hernandez to start the quarter. Gets it close to the 40-yard line. Cameron Wake with the tag. I'm the $48 million would knock the chip off my shoulder.
Well, that's where I can sum up Tom Brady. If there's one guy in the world I wish I could be, it'd be him. I mean, he has it all. He's got everything you want in a superstar quarterback. He can make all the throws. He's smart, hardest worker in the program. He's one of the guys. This guy is a crunch time performer, and when he gets the ball, he wants to score every time he has it, and he wants to complete every ball. He's a perfectionist.
Got a 3rd and short here. Dan Connolly's going to lead the way from the fullback spot, and Green Ellis can't get there. Good penetration by Kendall Langford. It's 4th down. Very much in the Bill Belichick profile to go for it on 4th down, and they will.
And the Dolphins, excuse me, Ron, the Dolphins have a lot of injuries in this defensive line. You know, Tony McDaniel suspended for this game. Philip Merlin got hurt in preseason. Their 1st-round draft pick, Jared Odrick, is out. So Bill Belichick clearly feels like he has the advantage, and we all know Bill Belichick loves going for it in these situations.
Brady keeping and keeps the legs driving. Looks like he's got the 1st down close to the 38. He does.
And that was a concern of Coach Tony Sperano coming in here tonight. They are very light at the defensive line position, and they're just going to surge right behind their right guard, Stephen Neal, Dan Cope in the center. And they let Tom Brady get it done with his legs.
That sneak wedge and Copeland with an outstanding block.
From the 37, Green Ellis. Runs for 2. Bobby Carpenter had him stop, but there is what we talked about. 3 more as he keeps the legs grinding.
You see the Patriots right now, from a scheme standpoint, have calmed things down. They came out early. They opened it up. They spread it out with empty. It wasn't working. There was pressure on Tom Brady. As you spin this forward, what they want to do is calm things down. Then they'll get back to opening up and try to get the big plays, the explosive plays.
Nothing to Welker or Moss yet. Green Ellis carries. Yard shy of the first down.
Remember, the Dolphins have a new defensive coordinator here, Mike Nolan. And Mike Nolan was in Denver last year, did some good things against Tom Brady and the Patriot offense, but the one thing the Dolphins want to eliminate this year is the big plays. They gave up 57 completions last year, 20 yards or more. Clearly, they're almost daring New England to run the football, Josh.
You see Mike is with the Niners as the head coach, defensive coordinator, Denver last year. Much respected defensive mind in the league. Dan Connolly, the lineman, blocks for Green Ellis, who has the first down at the 26-yard line.
You got to like Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. I mean, this guy's carried the ball I don't know how many times, but they tell me he's never fumbled. And he's waited his whole life for this opportunity. Just a hard run right off the left side, and he really gets it done after contact. He makes a lot of hidden yardage, this Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis. Good finish.
Inflicted the pain on Jeremiah Bell, the safety on that trip. Bell is out. Tyrone Culver comes in at safety here for the Dolphins. Now Sammy Morris as Green Ellis gets a break. Cameron Wake and Vontae Davis chase him to the sideline.
And Vontae Davis does an outstanding job from his cornerback position, diagnosing the play. Randy Moss does not get the block on him, and he knifes through. You'll see Randy Moss, number 81, going for the block and does not make the block. And Vontae Davis, whew, I mean, he's like a missile coming in there.
I don't know if I've seen the Patriots play in the last 5 years without Randy Moss and Welker not having a catch for this long.
Or even a target. We haven't seen it really thrown to them much. This play 10 of the drive, as you see, play 11, I beg your pardon. And it's Woodhead running. Danny takes it inside the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, Vontae Davis is hanging in there against Randy Moss so far. They're mixing up coverages. He's trying to be physical with him. He's been rotating to him. He's had some help over the top. But Vontae Davis has played Randy Moss before. He knows he can run with him. So far, the young guy's been pretty sharp. I like this guy a lot.
5 minutes through the quarter, third down on this long drive. Brady will burn a timeout. First sustained drive for the Patriots. We'll see what they do on 3rd and 2.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com, Windows 7, and NFL.com Fantasy, the official source of fantasy news and information. Go to NFL.com/fantasy today.
On this 80-degree October night in South Florida, our aerial coverage is brought to you by Autotrader.com. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski in Miami. 3rd and 2 in this drive that's taken 6.5 minutes for Brady and the Pats. Sammy Morris, the back. The throw is to Hernandez, the rookie tight end. Inside the 10, it's 1st and goal for the Pats.
You know, this guy, Hernandez, is the youngest player in the National Football League. And for him to line up here and run a sharp slant against a good corner like Sean Smith, this guy has rare pass receiving skills. That's impressive.
John, he came into this game through the first 3 games, had more receiving yards than any tight end through 3 games in the history of the NFL. He is an outstanding receiving tight end.
I don't think he's a tight end. I think he's just an all-around receiver.
1st and goal. The pressure comes. Cameron Wake again. Cameron Wake is explosive off the football.
You'll see him right here. No chance for Vollmer. Vollmer peeked to the inside. By the time he came back out, Wake was by him, putting the hit on Tom Brady.
It was a full blitz that time, and it fooled Tom Brady. Vollmer blocked down to block the blitz, and Wake was not accounted for.
Loss, only receiver, bottom of the street. A run with Sammy Morris. Jeremiah Bell helps with the tackle. 3rd and goal from the 12.
Cameron Wake can explode off the football. This is what you're seeing out of him tonight. Look at the effort. Just continues to work hard. You see the burst. You see the dip of the shoulder. This is effort once again, chasing the play from behind. Here just putting a lick on Tom Brady. Number 91, Cameron Wake, all over the field, wreaking havoc.
Standing up in the middle linebacker spot here. Brady throws underneath to Welker as Bell stops him along with Chris Clemens. And on 4th down, a field goal attempt coming for New England.
Well, you can see what Mike Nolan, defensive coordinator of the Dolphins, has in mind for Tom Brady in these no-back, wide-open passing sets. He's going to rush 3 guys. He's already rushed 2. He's playing maximum zone coverages. And they're going to force Tom Brady to work underneath.
Good job of that long drive. A couple of long attempts and misses. Rookie holder, punter Zoltan Mesko. That snap, good job by Mesko. Jake Ingram, the 2nd-year snapper out of Hawaii with a bad snap. Well done by Mesko. 16 plays and a field goal, in large part as Cameron Wake helps keep him out of the end zone. It always means something down here. Both teams are ranked, and it's an ACC game. Knowles and Canes. It's a Saturday night football game presented by Southwest Airlines that you'll see at 8 Eastern on most of your ABC stations. Some of you out west will see USC taking on Stanford. 16 plays and a field goal. They kept it for 9 minutes and 11 seconds, and the Rob Ninkovich interception got the ball back to the Pats. Place where New England has traditionally struggled. Dolphins always seem to play the Patriots well down here in South Florida.
As good as Bill Belichick has been, he's only 4-6 as a Patriots head coach down here in South Florida, Mike.
Gostkowski kicks to Nolan Carroll. He'll come down shy of the 20-yard line. Devin McCourty, the rookie cornerback, leading the charge. Ninkovich slow to get up. And we'll get Chad Henne back on the field. Doing well early on. Intercepted last drive. We'll see how he responds after this. Well, both of these starting quarterbacks have maize and blue in common. Tom Brady, a 20-5 record as a starter. Remember, Drew Henson was there, and Brady had to emerge past Henson to win the position. Chad Henne started from his very first game as a freshman out of Pennsylvania. He set some very strong Michigan marks because of all the time he played. In all, throwing for 9,715 yards. Both men have their name in the Michigan record book.
I don't think either one of these guys, Brady or Henne, could start at Michigan today in this offensive run. This Denard Robinson's different, man.
Different offense.
From the 21, here is Henne. His pass is incomplete. Now, Michigan, for all its great football, they really didn't have a starting quarterback in the NFL out of Michigan until Jim Harbaugh started in the late 80s. And now these guys are carrying the maize and blue flag in the NFL. See their numbers so far tonight. You had a Michigan quarterback, Brian Greasy. You had Elvis Gerback, Todd Collins, who played last night when Cutler got hurt.
Well, Henne just missed a dig route, but he's got to hit. Now, he's got to start heating up a little bit. He missed a couple that he got to complete.
Ronnie Brown carries his shy of 25, tackled by Ninkovich.
The Miami Dolphins love to run that play out of 2 backs. It's a power play, and they like to run it to the right behind their pulling guard, Richie Incognito. This is a staple in the Dan Henning offense. Take a look at this left guard, Richie Incognito. He's going to be pulling at the point of attack. This guy incognito, the Dolphins wanted to add toughness, and they did with this guy. He is arguably the meanest guy in the league, Joe. Let me tell you.
I agree with you.
3rd and 6. Patriots bring 5. And Henne throws. Complete. Another 3rd down. Picked up for a 1st down to Devon Bess.
Yeah, Chad Henne, real poise in the pocket. You'll see bodies flying around him, and he steps up in the pocket. This is what a quarterback has to do. Know where the pressure's coming from. Steps up and delivers down the field the best. And the eyes of the quarterback, so critical. First, he looks down the field, steps up, and maintains that focus and vision on the receiver and throws a strike to Bess.
It helps when Devon Bess runs a route like that. Devon Bess is off to a great start tonight.
3rd time he's caught one for a 1st down. What a hit on Bess by Brandon Merriweather. Good thing he held on, too. That may have been going backwards.
Wow. He gets stroked.
Well, Merriweather's an interesting guy. He reads it the whole way. That's impressive. And they need Merriweather to return to his Pro Bowl form. He was benched for a couple games earlier this season. He can hit you. He can run. He's a versatile safety. Welcome back to Miami, Brandon Merriweather.
Loss of 3 was officially credited as a pass, not a run. And Wolford to tackle Ronnie Brown with a gain of a couple of yards. I mentioned the offensive coordinator, Dan Henning, has been a veteran in the National Football League, was a head coach at Boston College, 31 seasons in the league, and always tight ends. Wherever Dan Henning has been, it's a tight end-based offense. But he's a guy who's great, you think, for Chad Henne at this stage of his career.
No question. This guy's done it for a long time, and they can line up in empty backs, single backs, 2-back sets. They have a litany of audibles, and he's very good with young quarterbacks. He played the position himself.
Asks a lot of his quarterback, and Henne's been able to handle it. Timeout taken by Bill Belichick, so we'll step out with 4.5 left in the half. 7-3 Miami.
There it is.
Downtown Miami, it's the home of the Heat. That's LeBron's new hangout. Miami Heat play their first preseason game tomorrow night. You'll see LeBron and D. Wade and Chris Bosh, the new look Heat that everybody's excited about. A lot coming up this winter and spring on ESPN. 3rd and 10 out of the timeout. Last 3 3rd downs have been completions for the 1st down to Devon Bess. Henne hit as he throws. Incomplete for Hartline. The flag comes on the rookie Devin McCourty.
And what a hit put on Chad Henne. He had the courage to hang in the pocket.
Pass interference, number 32. Defense. Ball placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
Once again, young defender, McCourty, the rookie. 3rd down and long. Take a look at Brian Hartline driving off on a double move. They're going to call that. They like McCourty, but he's had some pass interference problems. That's a big one.
Pretty tough call, though, John. That ball was back to the inside. You know, the receiver kind of leaned back into him. Hartline trying to make the catch.
Roberto Wallace in the game for the Dolphins for the 1st time. And movement up front.
False start, 79. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Talk about the youth in that Patriots secondary. There it is in terms of the guys who are in the corners and safeties.
Yeah, and they've really invested not only in the draft picks, the time. They've spent a lot of time with these young guys. Nobody works harder than Bill Belichick and his Patriot team. But these young guys have got to step up quick because they're in a line of fire in this league every week.
And 2 of them, Merriweather and Butler, have been benched as starters over the last 2 weeks. And he passes to Bess. Picks up the penalty yard +2. A gain of 7 for Devon.
Yeah. This Devon Bess is really off to a great start. He can run all the routes, and he's fearless inside. He's very good after the catch. He's sudden, and he's quick. And on 3rd down, nobody's been more productive in this league than Devon Bess. Look how quick he is in and out of breaks, and he snatches it with his hands. This is really an unheralded receiver off to a great start once again tonight.
to Ricky Williams. Good. Cut back by Ricky. Oh, and he's tripped up, almost getting all the way home. Kyle Arrington preventing a Ricky Williams touchdown.
Boy, we used to call this a bunch crunch. And here it is to the right side. There's a bunch of guys over there crunch blocking to the inside. Ricky Williams can pick and slide just like he used to at the days of Texas. If they get Ricky going again, Jaws, with Ronnie in this running game, there's a lot of good things in store for these Dolphin fans.
Well, on your bunch, John, you said he got to be able to block. And it certainly was a great job by Brandon Marshall on Gerard Warren, sealing to the inside. That was the crunch block.
Play action for Henny. Throw is underneath, intercepted again by Ninkovich. For the second time in as many drives, good Miami movement down the field, and Ninkovich, who had never had an interception in his NFL career, has 2 in as many drives.
Just a couple bad decisions tonight by the quarterback, Chad Henne. This one, you see it right here. We got Ninkovich as a linebacker spot, walked out over Brandon Marshall. Off the play action, Chad Henne comes out, trying to get to Polite in the flat, just not there. Throw the ball away if you don't have it downfield. He actually got caught a little bit flat-footed on the throw. The ball hangs. Ninkovich comes underneath. It was actually Patrick Cobbs out in the flat.
We got to give Ninkovich some credit. The decision, not a great decision, but you see an outside linebacker get 2 interceptions.
Well, if he would have done this when he was with the Dolphins,
he'd still be here.
We have 4 games and 1 game back in 07 and 08. He would have still been here. That's right. Played with the Patriots all last year. First 2 career picks. Brady and the Pats get going. Complete to Welker for 5. SportsCenter right now, Trey Wingo.
Michael, thank you. The Eagles are calling the injury to quarterback Michael Vick something to do with his rib cartilage, and his status is uncertain for next Sunday night's game in San Francisco. Kevin Kolb will get the start if Vick can't go. And for the 6th time in the last 8 matches, the Europeans have their hands on the Ryder Cup. Despite a comeback by the U.S., Graham McDowell closed out Hunter Mahan to win it by a point.
All right, thank you, Trey. Welker the catch, first down for New England across the 35. We're going to hit the 2-minute warning with no passes caught by Randy Moss, none by Brandon Marshall. And the focal points here. See if they get 1 snap in before the 2. No. Oh, yeah, they're sitting on 2, and they get it to Hernandez to the 41-yard line. So they end up getting a quick 5 yards there. Miami sideline unhappy. The clock hit 2 minutes, and they let the snap go. Brady and the Pats a little frustrated on offense, but within 4 and driving at the 2-minute warning. Didn't you guys say it was going to be a high-scoring game?
Oh, absolutely. Isn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was me. I apologize.
For soccer, it'd be a high-scoring game.
7-3 Dolphins here inside the 2-minute warning. A couple of turnovers by Miami when they were driving. Story of this first half, Danny Woodhead in again for the Patriots, takes the ball and gets close to the first down yardage. Danny Woodhead, who was with the Jets, if you watch the HBO series Hard Knocks. Woodhead, a guy who made their team last year, cut by the Jets, picked up by the Patriots, and a rushing touchdown last week. That's something New England does often and well. Brady keeping it for the first down out to midfield.
Danny Woodhead, what a story. He and Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, neither one of these guys were drafted, and they're the feature horses now for the Patriots. And you look over at the Dolphins, they've got Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams, 2 top 5 picks.
Pass caught by Welker, gain of 5. 1 timeout for the Pats, 70 seconds in the half.
And once again, Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins, allowing Brady to throw those short, quick passes, but not giving up the big play. Keep it in front of you. That's the philosophy right now.
Tom, complete. Brandon takes third grab to the 35-yard line. Keeps rolling inside of 50 seconds.
And this is where Tom Brady is at his best. He sees everything and uses all 5 eligibles.
Got time here and just gets rid of it out of bounds. And incomplete. Keep watching Moss down here with Vontae Davis. Randy has not been thrown to. Brandon Marshall thrown to just once. Well, John, you talk about it oftentimes. You start the week with a theme sometimes, and perhaps that was the theme with both of them. We're not going to let these guys beat us.
Don't let these guys beat us, and clearly they're getting some specialty coverages.
Wait off the edge, brought the pressure, but good coverage. And the pass complete to Tate for the first down. Brandon out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
And a lot of Randy Moss's problems tonight are Vontae Davis. They're clearly working the other way. Jason Allen, who's been in and out of the lineup at corner and safety, they're working him on that right side.
Miami's going to stop it here on defense. Get themselves sorted out. They're half a dozen DBs with their heads spinning as Brady's walking it down the field. Patriots in field goal range, 26 seconds left, first down. To Welker. They line up Moss and Welker so often on that same side. Want to kill it to keep that one time out. Hand signal there from Brady. Watch here. Oh, they fake the spike like Marino. Throw to Moss, and he almost caught the touchdown. Did you see Brady grab his face mask and look to Moss? It was the old Marino fake spike, and they almost caught him.
And Vontae Davis was very alert on the play. He did not bite the fake spike, stayed with Randy Moss, and forced the throw to the outside by Tom Brady.
And Brady's got every shot in the book.
8 seconds, one timeout. One play before a field goal attempt. Brady steps up, is sacked. They'll get the timeout here with 1 second left. Field goal attempt coming. Let's watch for Brady on that play a moment ago.
Always be alert. That wily old veteran Tom Brady, saw him shake the face mask. That was tipping Randy Moss that he was going to come with the back shoulder throw. The ball just behind him. He may have been able to stay in bounds if he caught it.
For those who don't, I'm sorry, Josh. For those who don't remember, famous Dan Marino play going left to right at the old Meadowlands against the Jets. The fake spike and then throwing a touchdown against the Jets. One of the best moments in that AFC East rivalry. And it was almost pulled off there by Brady and Moss. Toyota halftime show coming up with Chris Berman, Chris Mortensen, Adam Schefter as well. Fastest 3 minutes. We'll talk about the Jets, who we see next week. Michael Vick update, and Jay Cutler injured last night as well. Toyota halftime show coming up. 30-yard field goal for Gostowski. Timeout taken by Miami. Kind of an odd first half, you know, not really the flow that I think we expected both ways. Miami's moved the ball better than we thought, but New England, until this drive, hasn't really kicked into gear.
I also think Miami's looking forward to getting in there at halftime, talking to their young quarterback. He's been fooled a couple times. He's forced a couple balls with full protection, and those 2 interceptions are the turning point in this game. New England will be happy to go to the locker room down by 1 point.
Find a way to get the ball to Brandon Marshall. Feature him a couple times. They need his energy.
Remember a bad snap from Jake Ingram a moment ago. That one was a little bit better, and Gostowski pounds it through from 30 yards to end the half. Miami 7, New England 6. Brady and the Pats get the ball to start the third quarter. Now the Toyota halftime show and Chris Berman. Boomer. It'll be Brady and the Patriots to get the ball first. They had a 16 and a 13-play drive, both ending up in field goals, while Miami's 2 nice drives after their touchdown drives were ended by the first interceptions of Rob Ninkovich's career.
We saw this last week. When you get into these divisional rivalries, these 2 teams know each other. Oftentimes, they're going to be defensive struggles. Turnovers, special teams. Those are 2 areas that are going to decide this.
Dan Carpenter kicks to Brandon Tate from 4 yards deep. And Tate got a very nice block at the point, and it gives him room to get the sideline. And Tate, who took one back against Cincinnati to open the second half, has a 103-yard kickoff return to start the half. A touchdown. It was Sammy Morris with the big block that gave Tate the sideline.
Well, oftentimes that's what catapults you in games like this. Brandon Tate, the all-time NC2A return leader, bounces it to the outside, and watch this burst. That's twice for Brandon Tate. What an impact play on special teams.
John Wright on cue. You'll see the block right there by Sammy Morris. That freed up Brandon Tate, but special teams, you said it, John, be the difference in the second half.
You think it'd be that quick?
Good point for Gostowski. That's the 8th kickoff return for a touchdown in the NFL already this year. We've had one in every week of the season. It took just 14 seconds, and you saw Morris there on the sideline who made the key block for Tate, who was great at North Carolina. He had a kickoff and a punt return in a same game for a touchdown when he was at UNC. Did that in 2006, one of 9 to do that. That's the guy I want to point out. Morris, 11 years in the league. Here he is making the key block on a kickoff return.
And that's what the New England Patriots do. They can beat you with all 3 phases. They've taken pride in this phase for years. And Brandon Tate was hurt his senior year at North Carolina, got hurt last year. All they've been telling us is they have some young guys with firepower that they're excited about. McCourty, the cornerback, Darius Butler. You just saw Tate. They like Hernandez, Gronkowski. They are loaded with young players. One of them just splashed onto the scene.
How about 2 kickoff returns in your first 4 games of the season for a touchdown? As mentioned, it was 24-3, a blowout first half for the Patriots in the opener against Cincinnati, and the opening kickoff in the third quarter was a 97-yard Tate return for a touchdown.
And I'm really anxious to see Chad Henne come out here in the second half. He's had some real adversity. Now they're behind. Let's see how he reacts.
And that's what separates quarterbacks in this league. You know, he took a body blow in that first half, a couple 4 interceptions. Now the return for the touchdown. The Dolphins find themselves behind. Can he rally the troops?
Nolan Carroll is going to take a knee, and we'll visit with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, guys, I spoke with Tony Sperano coming out of halftime, and he talked about Henne and his ability to bounce back after those 2 interceptions. He thinks he is the kind of guy that can respond very well. As for not being able to get the ball to Brandon Marshall, he said, look, they're doubling him right now, but we're going to try to find some ways to move him around and get him open. But he seemed very thankful that Bess was available to them and able to be so active. Also spoke with Bill Belichick about Randy Moss not getting the ball. He said, look, the Dolphins are a good team, and if they continue to take away Moss, well, we've got other guys to throw to. Mike?
Michelle, last time Moss went a half without a catch was last year against Denver, when Mike Nolan was the defensive coordinator. And he is here now with Miami. Ronnie Brown gains about 2.
And Chad Henne in an uneven first half. Nice throw here to Devon Best for the touchdown. And in the first half, he goes 11 of 15, but the turnovers, the interceptions were ill-advised. Trying to squeeze the ball into tight windows. Ninkovich makes 2 outstanding plays, but Chad Henne's got to be much more careful with the football. See the throws. If they're not there, don't be afraid to throw it away.
Rolling and throwing, and a lot of Patriots over there. Almost intercepted. Devin McCourty had a hand on it. Rookie out of Rutgers. First-round pick. His twin brother Jason's in Tennessee.
And you got to really be careful here. Dan Henne moves the pocket, a little sprint out to the right. It's a 2-man route. They got a guy down the field. They got a guy underneath. They're both covered. Be very careful as these zone defenders read your eyes. That one could have easily been picked.
Devon Bess has been the businessman on 3rd down. This time it's Marshall, his first catch. Good job dragging him across the field for Jonathan Wilhite, who's played the nickel here for the Dolphins. It's 3, or for the Pats, it's 3 and out for New England.
And that's what you have to do if you're the New England Patriots. Let them throw it underneath. Let them check it down and rally defensively. Get Hats to the football. In that case, Brandon Marshall caught it short. But, boy, there were a lot of Patriots helmets waiting for him to punish him after the catch.
Brandon Fields kicks to Wes Welker. Good rush and a block. Blocked by Patrick Chung, and the Patriots take over at the 14. Special teams killing the Dolphins in this 3rd quarter.
Well, they had a punt block last week against the Jets. They had 2 punts blocked in the preseason, and to get a punt blocked again, there's a problem in your punt protection. Whether it's execution or communication, whatever it may be, but Patrick Chung right up the middle. And he could have got that with either arm.
Yeah, that's right.
And Tom Brady's got a chance to really put Miami in deep trouble.
Last week's punt block was the first time Fields had had a punt block in his 4-year career. Now it happens twice in 8 days. From the red zone, Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis with 2 to the 13, and suddenly with special teams, this game has flipped. The safety Chung bust through.
There's another young guy. Here's another one of your second-round draft choices. But the Miami Dolphins have huge problems right now on special teams, particularly in punt protection. But to have 2 impact plays within 5 minutes, they have issues.
Scotty O'Brien, a special teams coach for the Patriots. Boy, a couple great performances by his teams.
Back to Green Ellis. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, touchdown New England. 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
What a story. Just a simple draw play. And Tom Brady sets up like he's going to pass. It's a slow developing draw play. Watch it. The linebackers, everybody's going to react to pass. And Tom Brady's going to hand the ball off. And Welker gets a great block in the slot. Actually, I don't think that was Welker. That was Gronkowski playing in the slot. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis.
And Matt Light, John, does a great job setting the draw, uses the club technique, and just opens up a big scene for Ben Jarvis Green.
Third straight bad snap. Great job by Mesco. What a spin of the game here. Some of the folks are just coming back from their halftime snack. Hey, don't look up at the scoreboard. You may get it ill to your stomach.
Following ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Medal of Honor. Available October 12th. Rated mature. Scion. Test drive the all-new TC at your local Scion dealership. Find out more at Scion.com. And Bank of America.
Beautiful downtown Miami. Bumming right now. You know, you can break down a game, talk about quarterbacks and matching up and this and that. And special teams, big plays, flip games so often has allowed the Patriots to take a 20-7 lead here in Miami. Patrick Chung blocked the punt that led to the Green Ellis touchdown. And another big kickoff from Gostowski with no return. The Patriots defense will hop in their step at a 13-point lead. Special teams, the headline story of this second half. Both teams have a bye next week. They're off next week. So whatever happens, you have to live with here for a couple of weeks. And let's see what Miami. Would you start opening things up right now with your Miami guys?
No. A lot of time, Mike.
Hang in there, huh?
Stay with the plan.
We need one drive. One drive.
Brandon Merriweather getting his ankle taped. Patrick Chung is the safety on this drive as Ricky Williams runs left for about 1.5 yards.
You know, you make a good point with both of these teams in a bye next week. Trust me, both these head coaches took advantage of that, used the extra day to prepare. And Bill Belichick, over the years, has done as good a job of that as anybody.
Here are the Dolphins going with their no huddle, trying to get the tempo change, get some life into this offense.
And Hartline catches on the far side with Brandon Marshall ahead of him trying to block. Be a yard shy of the first down. Kyle Arrington made the tackle. And you're right about energy. This stadium, which was electric and loud, is absolutely dead right now with the way the Patriots have flipped the switch.
Boy, they certainly have flipped the switch, you know, taking the kickoff back and then blocking a punt. I mean, they just turned it around. This crowd is just sitting on their hands right now. There's no energy. It's up to Chad Henne, this Dolphins offense, to reinvigorate this offense and this crowd.
Third and a yard. Ricky Williams busted up the middle for the first down to the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 for Ricky.
Dolphins do an excellent job in short yardage situations. Normally they go to their fullback, Lusaka Polite. That time a reverse pivot, just a plunge. Wedge block right up the middle, and Ricky's running hard tonight.
John, that's an old throwback play right there. Those split backs and a little cross buck, you know, right up the middle. And boy, Ricky finishes well. Those pads are down. He makes defenders pay.
Good numbers for Ricky so far here tonight. He had a shoelace untied, so Ronnie Brown comes in. He's kept shy of the 45-yard line. What do we see? 2 snaps of Wildcat here tonight, guys, and that's it?
That's it. Not successful. I think I just saw one. But the last 2 plays have been plunges, just wedge blocking plays right up the middle. Remember, New England's been playing Mike Wright on the nose, on the center instead of Vince Wilfork. And clearly Miami's taking advantage of that size advantage.
Well, they're attitude plays, John. You know, when you want to get those guys coming off the ball, those are the runs you call to get them after people.
2nd and 5. Henne throws, and it's almost intercepted again. Rod Mayo dropping back in coverage, and the linebackers are making things cloudy for the quarterback.
Yeah, Chad Henne's just a hair late with this throw, as you'll see him set up in the pocket. You know, it's Mayo, number 51. He drops the middle, but then he reads the quarterback's eyes. And that's what a quarterback has to do. When that linebacker's in the middle of the field, keep him there, stare him down. Once Henne moved his eyes left, Mayo moved left.
Henne, who started 7 of 7, has struggled since. There he picks up a first down to Fasano. Takes it into Patriots territory at the 43. Anthony Fasano from Notre Dame, who was drafted when Parcells was the head coach in Dallas.
That's a good read there by Henne. Nothing real sophisticated from New England tonight. A lot of 4-man rushes, different kinds of zone coverages, and Henne's just got to see and make good high percentage decisions. Nice job by Fasano working underneath, splitting people after the catch.
Ricky Williams picked up the pressure. There goes Brandon Marshall. His first grab to the 23. A gain of 19.
Mike, you nailed it. There was pressure. You'll see it come from the left side of Chad Henne and Ricky Williams in perfect position right there to pick it up. Now his head's on a swivel. Looks at inside, then outside, and does a terrific job of picking up Jared Page on the blitz, giving Henne some time.
Ball start, 77. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Interesting week for Marshall. He was very productive, his most productive in his first 3 games with the Dolphins against the Jets, but was called out on a TV show for his perceived lack of effort at times during that game. Your read on that, Joss?
No, I don't think there was a lack of effort. He made a great effort before he ran the fade route, and I think a quarterback's got to be aware that a guy just ran 60 or 70 yards, and don't make him the primary receiver. Go somewhere else, someone that is fresh.
Pressure off the corner again. Ricky Williams has a ton of room. And blockers. And a touchdown.
That was an excellent call. Watch the offensive line slide to the left, and Ricky Williams is going to step up like he's blocking the edge and fool him and just look for the ball. Excellent call and excellent execution by the Miami Dolphins. One of those blitzers is responsible for that back. There's another busted coverage by the New England Patriots.
Dan Carpenter adds the extra point. Ricky Williams' 70th NFL touchdown, just his 8th as a receiver. Good response drive. Miami right back in it. Been around so long on the football scene. Ricky Williams, forgotten by so many people. He had the problems with breaking the league substance policy, went to the CFL in 06, came back for 1 game in 07 on a Monday night, got injured in that game in Pittsburgh, tore his chest muscle. They thought kind of Ricky Williams was done. Came back to Miami, productive in 08, 1,000-yard season in 09. Great compliment with Ronnie Brown. Touchdown there, makes it a 6-point game. Tate took the last one back, 103. This one he brought back about 25 yards.
Well, Ricky's my kind of back. He's durable. You got to credit Bill Parcells with giving him a chance to get his career back in order. But this is a legitimate workhorse back. He can run it. He can catch it. He's the 30th player to get 9,000 yards in his career. He's gone over 100 yards 36 times. What he's done at the age of 32 years old doesn't happen very often. He's one of my favorite backs in football. I just love the way he runs the rock.
Tom Brady back with his empty formation.
From the 22, Wes Welker, Jaws. He gets about 5 to the 27-yard line. Just to finish the thought and the perspective on Ricky Williams and to recognize his great years here with Miami earlier in his career. Only Larry Zonka has more career rushing yards than Ricky Williams in a Dolphin uniform. Then Ricky, then Ronnie.
He didn't do too bad at Texas either.
No. Setting the NCAA mark at that time for rushing yards. Danny Woodhead seeking space and getting the first down to the 33-yard line. We sat with Woodhead last night when we met with the Patriots, and what a great story, isn't he, guys?
What an engaging guy. You know, what a story. Comes in, played terrific last week, comes in with a few days, and he says he understood the whole offense in a couple days, played well. He's making some plays tonight, but diminutive guy, tough as they come.
There he goes to the left for a couple of yards. He went to Chadron State, Division II. He won the Division II Heisman, the Harlan Hill Award. But what a great athlete. He was a point guard in high school. He led the state of Nebraska in scoring. He was the #2 soccer scorer. But we got to the real story. He's not a scratch golfer.
No, but hey, Mike,
he's a +2.
This guy represents hope for a lot of kids back home that want to play pro football. This guy's 5'7". He comes from a small college. He's 180 pounds, and he's starting for the New England Patriots. Keep lifting weights back home, kids.
Brady with a pocket throws over the middle for Welker. Incomplete near midfield.
And Cameron Wake once again bringing the heat. I mean, he just explodes off the football in that 4-point stance, taught to him by Jason Taylor, who made it famous here in Miami. And he just is right around the corner on that light. Explodes.
First down, Welker across midfield, the former Dolphin, who's much in that same mode of Woodhead as well. Guys who you'd walk past in an airport and say, he's not a football player.
That's great design. Great design. They get into the bunch formation and take a look at Welker work himself out of the stack. One guy goes there, one guy goes there, two guys break to the inside. Confusion, but an excellent stack release out of the bunch.
Running Woodhead to the left. The 41-yard line. You know, when he got cut by the Jets as they were doing their numbers game with the roster and the Patriots signed him, it was the week of the Jets game, and people thought that was just for reconnaissance, just try to get the guy in, find out about it. No, he came in, learned the playbook, and now here he is playing significant time.
Yeah, and right now Tom Brady senses, he needs to get a little up-tempo in his offense. They're now going no huddle, and Tom is the master at running this offense.
Nice cutback by Woodhead to the 35-yard line.
What I liked is talking to Tom Brady last night. He said after Woodhead scored the touchdown last week in Buffalo, he says, I don't even know what this guy's name is. I know his name is Wood. They're calling him Woody. He finds out his name is Woodhead. So they're just getting to know each other, but what an impression he's made on the Patriots.
Tom checking at the line, see something in the Dolphins defense.
One more time, Woodhead seeking space and getting about 4 yards. We mentioned that he went to the Division II school in Nebraska, Chadron State. Remember another guy from that school played in this division, the AFC East? Dom Beebe, Buffalo Bills.
He had some speed.
Same type of guy. Yeah. Great all-around athlete, as we were detailing earlier, and passed over by everyone and plays with that chip on his shoulder that a lot of the Patriots players do. Reminded of that. Welker again.
Right now, Benny Sapp is having a really tough time with Wes Welker. And once Tom Brady gets to zero in on Wes Welker, he's almost impossible to stop.
Wow.
You'll see it right here. You'll get the matchup. Benny Sapp on Welker. Once again, very quarterback-friendly receiver. Defines his route quickly. Brady knows right when to get rid of the football.
Benjamin Green Ellis back in at the running back, 4 to the 12. Talk about Welker. He comes back after the end of last year, week 17 against Houston, without contact, injured his knee, took him out for the playoff game against Baltimore. Great recovery.
But look at the formations they're creating. They're not changing personnel. They're in and out of 1 and 2 and no back sets. And Tom Brady is orchestrating everything based on what he sees.
Brady will just avoid the big hit, and we have a penalty marker down as Cameron Wake was again putting on the pressure. What a disruptor he is.
Boy, what else is new? He has been all over the field tonight. He looks a little bit tired right there, but you know what? He'll get back in that 4-point stance and zero in on number 12 again.
See what happened back there as he was rushing.
There's no foul on the play for holding.
Joel Coleman?
Yeah, you know, I was going to be really nice. I didn't want to point out that this is the first time since the Tuck Rule game that you, Walt Coleman, and Tom Brady were in the same place at the same time. Conversation with the umpire and no hold called there.
That's cold, man.
Why would you throw the flag and then say there's no hold?
I don't know.
I don't either. That's why I asked the question.
3rd and 5, Moss bottom of the screen. Underneath, Brady to Woodhead. Touchdown. His second in as many weeks. And I promise you, Brady knows his name now.
Let me tell you, Danny Woodhead has spent a lot of time working as a receiver and as a running back. And the New York Jets did not want to lose him, but he just ran a heck of a route in there.
Little option route, John. He got him on Carlos Dansby, and that's a matchup.
He went in there and gave him a jerk route. He started one way, went another, and Carlos Dansby, he's a pretty darn good linebacker. What a performance.
Danny Woodhead is a pretty darn good receiving back out of the backfield. And let's take a look if he did score. Woodhead going down. Maybe a tad short.
Yeah, very, very close. When he's down there, was that ball touching the line in terms of breaking the plane? No challenge from Miami. The extra point's good. And a big offensive third quarter. 27-14. Woodhead caps the drive with a touchdown. 20-point quarter for the Patriots to take a 13-point road lead here in Miami. Danny Woodhead, the star of that last drive, 25 yards rushing and the 11-yard touchdown grab. Now go cover a kick if you don't mind, will you please?
You know, the question in New England was, you know, when Kevin Falk went out, who was going to pick up those third down receptions? Who was going to make the big plays out of the passing game from a back? Well, Danny Woodhead has answered the call right now.
Gostowski's 4th touchback in 5 kickoffs. He is pounding the ball this year. Miami scored in its last drive. They'll have to respond again to tighten this one up. Most attractive game on the slate for Week 5. Brett Favre goes to New York to take on Mark Sanchez. The Jets and the Vikings from the new Meadowlands Stadium next Monday night, 8:30 Eastern. You're on ESPN. Jets lead this division. They'll share the lead with the winner tonight. Patriots up 13. Henny's got Marshall. It's 2 in a row for Brandon with a flag down. He's down after a gain of 19.
Offensive PI.
Yep.
Pass interference, number 19. Offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Take a look at it. Little coverage breakdown. I don't know about that, Jaws.
No, I agree with you. These DBs beat the heck out of a wide receiver all day, and you get jammed and you fight him off, and he's a big, strong guy. You throw him out of the way. Michael Irvin made a living doing that.
I like that.
Did he grab his shoulder pads, guys?
Yeah.
Get him out of his way.
How many times are his grabbing? He's trying to get off the line.
Roberto Wallace checks in, bottom of the screen. Another receiver here for Miami, 1st and 20. Marshall tackled by Mayo, gain of 4. McCourty tried to rip it out. If you look for Brandon Merriweather, whose presence on that defense has been spotty because he was taken out of the starting lineup a couple of games ago. He's played most of this game, but he's out now with an injury, knee injury.
And Brandon Marshall limping around a little bit after this play. Looks like he got his ankle twisted right there. Yep. Grimacing. And he takes his offense into an empty look.
Marshall stays out there in the slot at the top. And he goes back shoulder to Roberto Wallace. It's his first grab. He had 73 at San Diego State. Wasn't drafted.
Roberto Wallace is an interesting guy. He's 6'4". Bill Parcells told me they're really excited about him. That's a big catch and a difficult one at that. Back shoulder fade on the far side of the field, setting up a 3rd down and convertible here inside of 5 yards. Big 3rd down for Miami.
John, I had a chance to watch Wallace at practice on Saturday, and boy, he can go up and get the football. Big, tall guy, but he's got some ups.
Timeout taken by the Patriots defense. Here before this 3rd and 4, late 3rd quarter. Only this stadium and Oakland host baseball and football on a regular basis. Marlins season ended yesterday, so the dirt infield was sodded. They were waiting to see if the weather was going to hold, and it was dry. It was, and that sod is in there. It will be more thoroughly sodded for next week. Doesn't look very pretty. It's not a great surface right now. 3rd and 4 to Bess, who caught it for another 1st down. 4th time tonight, Devon Bess has caught one on 3rd down to keep a drive alive.
Well, when Chad Henne needs a play, you look to number 15, Devon Bess. He just really gives a quarterback a window to throw the football into. As he comes out of that break, he works back toward the line of scrimmage. He doesn't drift upfield. Boy, that is excellent route running by Devon Bess. And it's a nice stick throw by Chad Henne. He needed that one.
Pretty impressive what he's done his couple of years in the league on 3rd down. And he steps up, finds Marshall, got a good block from Ronnie Brown to the 47-yard line. Another 1st down, gain of 15.
Well, that's a great job by Chad Henne in the pocket. Pressure was on, people all around him. He finds a way to get the ball to Brandon Marshall. Take a look at Henne, people in his face. Gets rid of the ball, and off goes Marshall. He picks up a block right there by Ronnie Brown. Nice play by the Dolphins. Look at the size of this guy. 6'5". I'd like to have that as a target.
His hands are an 18-inch radius. Wow.
And he complete to his tight end Fasano. It's another 11, another 1st down. This drive keeps going.
Henne's doing a real nice job, Michael, letting the defense expand. Expand and has someone on a shallow route. He's very patient right now, taking what the defense is giving him, methodically moving the football down the field.
Brandon Marshall's out of the game right now.
Ronnie Brown facing Gerard Mayo. Took him to the sideline, gets to the 34-yard line. Remember, last year down here, New England was up 14, and Miami came back on him.
And I think with Brandon Marshall, he's finding out what it's like to play again in this heat. He talked about that. He's a 230-pound receiver. Every once in a while, you got to come out of the game, give yourself a little bit of a break. And clearly, Roberto, the big fellow Wallace, has stepped in and helped him a little bit tonight. But they need the big guy Marshall to deliver right here.
Brown had a couple of blockers, couldn't climb through that opening, gets to the 29. And Miami driving as we flip ends for the 4th quarter. A lot of stuff happened there. Sleepy first half, 4 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter. 3 of them for the Pats. Important to the game here tonight. Winners tied with the Jets, but both of their one defeat, only defeat, have happened at the hands of New York. Buffalo has been cleaned out by the division so far, so the winner tonight is not only a full game behind New York, you add the half game for the one head-to-head loss. And Miami, you get these two guys at home, New York, New England, to start the season. You can't lose both of those games.
No, you cannot, especially when you're going into a bye week. It's a bad taste in your mouth. And you got that long.
You're right, John. Brutal schedule as well ahead for the Dolphins. Driving to start the fourth quarter. Henny's hot. He's hit 11 of his last 12. That one was knocked down. The pressure from the rookie Jermaine Cunningham out of Florida.
Speaking of Florida, there are 3 rookie players from Florida right here with the Patriots. Jermaine Cunningham is one of them. Brandon Spikes playing a lot for him as an inside linebacker. And we've talked about their exciting young tight end, Aaron Hernandez. 3 Florida Gators in the same draft right here with the Patriots.
Guys who had terrific success with Urban Meyer. Second and 10. Henny pressured, and it is the night of Rob Ninkovich's football life. 2 interceptions and a sack.
I don't understand the shift there. They came back into a 2-back set. They used play action pass. They tried to get to a maximum protection, and you see Polite, the fullback, just whiff. They were assigned. They had the matchup they wanted. That's why they put Polite in that position. Ninkovich has had a heck of a game.
Yeah, they had Brandon Marshall one-on-one in the outside, and that's where Chad Henne wanted to go, but pass protection first. That was just a miscue by the Dolphins.
Second career sack for Ninkovich. Brings you 3rd and long. Goes back, stayed into block. Henny's pass for Bess is broken up by Kyle Arrington. The 35-yard line. A field goal try coming.
I like to see the Dolphins get something positive there. These field goals, these 52-yard field goals, not only are they difficult to make, but the penalty for missing this field goal, you're really setting up this Patriot offense in great field position.
Well, John, you wouldn't be in this position if you pick up the blitz, and that's critical. You've got to be aware of that, and that was the killer of this drive. You had the opportunity for a big play with Marshall singled up.
This would be a career long for Carpenter. It is blocked. Again, Patrick Chung the block. It's alive for Kyle Arrington. A special teams fiesta for the Patriots.
That's the trifecta tonight for Scotty O'Brien and the New England Patriots on special teams.
Special teams making play after play after play. Not only creating blocks, but creating points. You'll see the inside. Chung once again unblocked right up the middle. No chance. They have found something wrong with the protection schemes of the Dolphins. They are coming in unblocked, blocking a punt and blocking a field goal.
Wow. The half started with a kickoff return for a touchdown. Patrick Chung, 2 block kicks in this game, and John Bonamigo's special teams having a very tough time. Patriots
are going for 2.
Going for 2 here, leading by 19. $35-yard return of that 53-yard blocked field goal attempt. Julian Edelman, former quarterback in his college days at Kent State, in there next to Brady. Edelman jumps forward, and a flag comes down for the movement. Maybe that was the wrinkle they had in this play.
12 start, 11, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Now the Patriots are going to kick it. I don't think I've seen a game in the NFL like this, where you've had a kickoff return for a touchdown, a blocked punt, and a blocked field goal for scores.
I'm sure we'll be getting that statistic shortly. Our guys are back there in the truck grinding it out. We'll see if history is made here this evening.
You could see the disappointment with the coaches. They had a little wrinkle on that play with Edelman in there. They were unhappy when he came out. He had it with the kick by Gostowski. 20-point Patriot lead. A special teams nightmare for the Dolphins. Patrick Chung, 2 blocks. This one led to a touchdown.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. Corona Light. It only gets better. And NFLShop.com, where you can customize apparel the way you want it.
Good look at downtown Miami. Our aerial coverage tonight brought to you by Autotrader.com. Special teams have destroyed the Dolphins' hopes here tonight. And credit to the Patriots, what they've been able to do on that phase of the game as well. Brady's bunch up 20. And don't lose sight of this. This will be touchback number 5 by Stephen Gostowski on kickoffs tonight. The special teams for the Pats.
Well, Brandon Tate started it off, Mike. 95-yard kickoff return, and I don't think he got touched. And then it's just a simple twist right here off the right side, and you're going to see number 25, Patrick Chung, unblocked, uncontested, easy block. Sets up another Patriots score. And then Chung off the left side, uncontested, blocks a field goal, and the Patriots take it to the house. The Patriots can beat you a lot of different ways, and special teams is one of them.
And on that touchdown, Jared Page, the safety, backup safety, as Ricky Williams runs up the middle. See a little job he did. He got the hand, kind of blocked the ball forward. That allowed for the scoop and Kyle Arrington to take it all the way. John Bonamigo has been the special teams coach here last 3 years. And there'll be a lot of questions to answer for this group that had a punt blocked by the Jets last week. Pass to Ricky Williams. The yard shy of the first down here with a minute and a half gone by in the fourth.
And what the Dolphins must do, speed it up a little bit now, but you got to keep taking what the defense will give you. The first score is critical. You don't need to sling it 50 yards down the field. Work it down the field. Try to get 1 touchdown.
Chad Henne finding Brandon Marshall, who was kept out of the reception column in that first half.
This is where you need your best pass protection. The Patriots are content to play some form of a double zone and not give up any big plays.
They came with the blitz on that one, John. They brought Patrick Chung, who's been red hot tonight. They brought him off the corner with a blitz.
Ricky Williams took a hard hit.
Once again, the Patriots are rotating a lot of players, Mike. Darius Butler's back in here at right corner. Gerard Page is at strong safety. So they're making changes. They're keeping everybody involved on this Patriot football team.
Play killed by a false start.
False start, 67. Offense. Penalty. Still second down.
Boy, Miami's been sloppy tonight, Ron.
Yeah, they really have been, John.
Offensive penalties, missed blocking assignments, poor special teams play.
2 interceptions.
And when you do that against a team like New England, they've proven over the years, they'll drill you.
Well, you don't want to give a Bill Belichick coach team too many opportunities. His teams don't normally make mistakes, and they are capitalizing big time on every mistake the Dolphins are making.
And his throw is complete to Brian Hartline. The Ohio State Buckeye takes it to the 44. Third down here. Miami's going to huddle.
Well, they need to get the best play they have. This is a critical third down conversion. So here comes Devon Best. It gives them a chance to bring their third down receiver back in the game.
I would try to find a way to get Devon Best more touches, period, not only on third down. He's been their playmaker this evening.
And they will run it here with Ronnie Brown and Mike Wright. On the bottom of the pile makes the stop here. It's 4th and a couple coming up.
That was an interesting call on 3rd and 5, 3rd and a long 4.
Well, they have to go for it here.
Well, I'd be afraid to send my special teams out at this point.
Good point.
You know? I mean, come on.
Well, Lasaka Polite has entered the game, number 36. He's hit 20 short yardage conversions in a row.
I don't know if they've been 4th and 2, though, John. I know they've been 20, 23rd and 1. Yeah, you're right.
Timeout Patriots. I guess when the head coach is the defensive coordinator, he can burn a couple of timeouts for defense, right? Belichick stops it there. NFL, its players supporting October, National Breast Cancer Awareness Month across the league. You can learn more about the NFL's A Crucial Catch program, breast cancer awareness campaign. Visit NFL.com/pink. Fans, players, officials all wearing something pink here tonight through the month. 4th and 2. Miami goes for it. It's Ronnie Brown. Stuck to the open field. And over on downs.
There's McCourty, their rookie corner.
And my man Ninkovich was bringing the heat as well.
Well, the play's pretty simple. You play action fake. You're going to throw the ball quickly in the flat. The Patriots were ready for that play. Fire protection. You're not blocking that rush. Ball's got to come out.
I want you to watch the celebration after that stop on 4th down, and note the fact there, this Patriots team's the only team that's had a winning record the prior year to come back here the next year in the first 3 games of the season and start 14 different guys who are either rookies or second-year players. A lot of them are on defense, guys like the rookie McCourty out of Rutgers. And this is a group that gave up all those points to Buffalo, and then you watch Buffalo against the Jets and you go, man, this Patriots defense must be bad. But there are growing steps. And Ron, you make a point about Belichick defenses over the years.
And his vision is for the last quarter of the season, not the first quarter of the season. He likes tinkering, figuring out what he's got. Look at the young players, come up with different packages. He's thinking, what's he going to have when he goes into the playoffs? That's how forward of a thinker Bill Belichick is.
This might be a step in that direction tonight. Danny Woodhead lost 2 on the carry there. Tim Dobbins tackled.
Yeah, but Danny Woodhead, man, has he made some plays tonight. Take a look at this. He's in the backfield one-on-one against Carlos Dansby. You look up top, they're doubling Wes Welker. You look down here, they're doubling Randy Moss. Guess what? Danny Woodhead can beat your prized free agent acquisition, Carlos Dansby. They got a lot of weapons in New England.
Now this throws to another one of those weapons who was single covered on that play, Aaron Hernandez, the tight end, who gets the completion in front of Sean Smith.
You know, I went to Florida. I spoke at that clinic with Bill Belichick 2 years ago. I was doing all the clinic speech, and he was in the Gators office watching film, and he watched those Gators practice for 2 days, and he told me that had a lot to do with him drafting those players. I got to see him practice live. I saw him interact with their teammates. He drafted 3 Florida Gators that are all starting for him. Bill Belichick does his homework.
Yeah, and you're right, John. That doesn't happen with an NFL head coach actually see the guys practice, see them live. You can make a true evaluation.
There's a rookie for Miami, Koa Misi, who brings down Tom Brady. It'll be no gain.
But you see what Brady did there in that situation. 2 hands on the ball, protect it, go down. Just a smart football player, that guy. No turnovers tonight. We said it earlier, turnovers and special teams are going to have a lot to do with this football game, and boy, have you.
Sultan Mesko's kick. Fair caught by Devon Best at the 18-yard line. 20-point lead for the Patriots. You know, it's one of the themes here with New England. You have Brady, you have Moss, you have Welker, but you almost have a sense of the rebuild because of what we talked about when we came out of the break, all those young guys.
Yeah, but you're talking about rebuilding while Tom Brady's still there.
Yeah, that's exactly
talking
right.
about rebuilding without Brady and Welker and Moss. Bill Belichick's done a great job. This team is transformed. A couple years ago when Brady was a young guy, they had veterans on defense, and the defense carried the mail. But now it's a little bit different. The offense is getting it done, but I really credit the job Bill has done rebuilding this defense.
I think they're still in that transformation process, John. I don't think they're transformed yet, but they're certainly on the right path.
And he incomplete to Devon Bess. You know, there's a rebuild on the run, yet the perspective. Tom Brady came in last night and was talking about this and said, we were a bad team last year. Wait a minute. Do you know how many cities and how many NFL teams would like to have your bad season with a division win, a playoff loss to Baltimore? These guys have won 59 games the last 5 years. After they stretch, they won 3 Super Bowls in 4 seasons. So it's certainly perspective of a team that knows championships. And they did Devon Bess again to the 26-yard line.
But if you look at all 32 teams in the NFL right now, you'd have a hard time telling me who the best team in the league is. And I guarantee you one of them is New England because of that coach and that quarterback down there.
Well, it starts with that combination. You always have to have the guy under center, someone that has all the physical tools.
Be 100 wins, I believe, tonight.
It'll be 100 wins for Tom Brady. And, you know, it means a lot to Tom. You know, he does have that chip on his shoulder for being a 6th-round pick. He loves to win. He loves to compete. And to know he got his 100th win, that's quite an accomplishment. Props to Tom.
All right, Brown run here. Be right at the first down mark for Miami.
Dolphins seem very content to make first downs here as opposed to trying to get the ball in there for a touchdown. They need 3 scores in a hurry.
Well, the Patriots are saying thank you every time they run the ball or check it down for a 4-yard gain. Eventually, you're going to have to take some shots down the field there as this clock's ticking with under 8 minutes to go, and you're down by 20.
Those guys came all dressed like that.
My 2 friends.
Yeah. Bess again. Yard shy of the first down. Mayo and Arrington making the test. 9 catches here for Bess tonight.
And these are situations that you always hear Bill Belichick talking about. Situational football. 2-minute defense. I guarantee he's going to be evaluating his pass rush and their ability to get off the field.
Once again underneath, it's Fasano to the 47-yard line. And we've been in New England to watch the Patriots before Monday night games, and their practices are just full of different situations, preparing their guys for moments like this.
Yeah, Mike, you're absolutely right. It's pretty amazing. You know, we get the opportunity to look at a lot of teams practice and see what's going on. So we have an injured player in the field, but one thing about when you see Bill Belichick at his practice, they do not miss a detail. Every aspect of the game is covered.
Injured players, Anthony Fasano, the tight end. Timeout on the field.
What's up? Stuart Scott with you. Coming up on SportsCenter, the GMC postgame report. Full highlights and analysis of this game. The latest on Michael Vick's injury and a great comeback by Team USA at the Ryder Cup, but it fell just short. Speaking of Ryder Cup, Mike Tirico, weren't you there?
I was. International travel's a wonderful thing. I saw Nick Faldo, who was the last Ryder Cup captain. He was for the European side. He's here tonight. Michael Ruzioni from the 1980 Miracle on Ice team here as well. A lot of big names and celebs here. Home team has disappointed. Down 20. And a 3rd interception. Patrick Chung, 2 block kicks and a pick 6. Sounds nice.
Patrick Chung is at a night to remember. Chad Henne was looking for Brandon Marshall on the crossing route. Marshall just stopped.
We'll take a look at it, Jaws. I think he's going to run a little jerk route.
Yep.
He's going to stop, and then he's going to jerk his body. But here's Marshall on the shallow cross. He stops, and then you can't do that to a quarterback.
Can't do that to a quarterback. Exactly right.
Once you commit yourself, you got to stay with your commitment. And Chung is an easy recipient right there. That's bad football right there by the Dolphins.
Well, they're just not on the same page. You know, when a quarterback and a receiver don't see the field with the same eyes, that's what you get. 6 going the other way.
Early 2nd-round pick, 34th overall in that 09 draft. Chung has his 2nd interception of the year. His first for a touchdown. He had one against Tennessee last year. Against Buffalo last week. That one happened in the end zone. And this interception he took to the end zone. Next Monday night, Adrian Peterson is great running for the Patriots, for the Vikings, taking on Bart Scott and the Jets. Monday Night Football from the New Meadowlands Stadium. And the Jets are going to get some faces back in the lineup, perhaps. Santonio Holmes, after the 4-game suspension, eligible to return. Darrelle Revis has missed the last 2 of the hamstring. We'll see if he comes back. Same true of Calvin Pace off of his foot injury. So the Vikings come off a bye. The Jets get fortified, perhaps, with as many as 3 big names returning. Stage set for a pretty interesting night as Favre comes to yet another stadium, the New Meadowlands Stadium, for Monday Night Football next week.
Boy, and Mark Sanchez has picked up his game. He gets Santonio Holmes back. Boy, he's got more explosive wide receivers to throw to. Mark Sanchez start having some fun because we know they're running the ball with LaDainian Tomlinson very well.
Nolan Carroll actually going to get a chance to return a kickoff after 5 touchbacks tonight by Gostowski, and Woodhead was a touchdown run, has a tackle on special teams at the 32-yard line. You know, you kind of come to the game, you're thinking Brady and Moss and Welker, and the difference makers tonight have been Ninkovich, Woodhead, and Chung.
Danny Woodhead making plays on special teams. He's contributed in a lot of ways. He had a big block on Tate's touchdown as well. All over the field, the young fella.
And the Miami Dolphins have a lot to think about. Tyler Thigpen in there now at quarterback. This is when your head coach, Tony Sperano, he's watching the sidelines very carefully. He's going to watch the demeanor of these Dolphins and make sure they finish with as much as they have.
Tyler Thigpen in at quarterback. Picked him up by a trade from Kansas City last year. He almost throws an interception intended for Devon Best. He was at Coastal Carolina when they started the football program down there and took them to a 30-8 record as they got that thing off the ground. And then he played a significant amount of time for the Chiefs in 2008. Started 11 games. They were 1-10. That was the bottom of where the Chiefs were before the turnaround here the last couple of years. The Thigpen traded here. Chad Pennington as the other quarterback. Some chances for Thigpen here tonight. And a shot down the seam, way too tall for Hartline.
Oh, you got to hit that one.
Well, you got to hit that one. This is what happens when you bring in a quarterback that hasn't taken a snap in a regular season game in a while. You know, when you had Brian Hartline wide open down the seam and he just airballed that one.
It's a setback for Chad Henne. Been playing well. 3 interceptions tonight. Clearly the last one not his fault. But he knows when you play a team like New England, turnovers do you.
And there were mistakes in that first half, John. There were poor decisions.
Thigpen taking off here. He's going to get the first down at the 44-yard line. Gerard Mayo, who's been involved in 15 tackles tonight, helped make the stop there. Thigpen was a Dolphin last year, guys. He played in 1 game. It was at the very end of the season against the Steelers in a mop-up role. He was 4 of 8 in that game and threw a touchdown.
You know, Mike, you're always looking for that guy, you know, a skill set that projects in the NFL. He has a big arm. He does have some mobility. He just lacks that experience. He had some good performances with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, it was a poor team, but he did open some eyes with what he was able to do. Fasano the catch there to the 44. Back to Ricky Williams. Tackled by Chung for being a 4. Very tough stretch ahead, as we mentioned, for Miami after this week. They get the off week and then have 4 teams that are among the teams you would think were playoff teams before this season started. The Patriots are going to take their last time out on defense. So the defense takes them all. 4:50 to go. Out of timeouts, out of challenges. These teams have split their season series 5 of the last 6 years, so the Dolphins are going to have to try to earn the split up in Foxborough this year at the end of the season on January 2nd. Penn's pass, too tall and incomplete for a frustrated Hartline. We talk about the stretch coming up after the bye. To Lambeau. Steelers in here. To Cincinnati. To Baltimore. Ouch.
Boy, that's a tough stretch right there. You can play good football and lose those games.
You know, every week in this league, let's be honest, it's a dogfight. Looking at the Carolina Panthers, they took the Saints to the brink yesterday. Detroit went into Lambeau, had the Packers on the brink.
49ers had the Falcons.
Don't make mistakes. Don't turn it over.
Don't beat yourself.
Don't beat yourself.
Out of the hands of Hartline. Is it caught clean by Page? Yes. Interception and another turnover. The 4th of the night for the Dolphins.
These plays are tragedies. This ball hits Hartline right between the numbers. Hartline's been open. They've missed him. Here they hit him right between the numbers. He took his eye off it before he ran. Nice break by Page. Dolphins have been really poor here in the second half.
You're being kind. Because that hadn't been a good half whatsoever. And all phases of their game have contributed. Offense, defense, and special teams. Special teams the most.
So 4:36 left. Remember I was telling you that Thigpen mopped up against Pittsburgh? That was his action for the Dolphins. You know, somebody else once mopped up for the Dolphins in a game against Pittsburgh. How about Ron Jaworski? Dan Marino and Ron Jaworski have thrown 421 touchdown passes for the Dolphins. Marino 420. Jaws won in the last game of his only season with the Dolphins. He threw a touchdown pass to Mark Clayton in Pittsburgh. Right?
Those stats seem right, though. They got those right. 420 to 1.
I was talking to Clayton. He remembered it. What a great throw it was.
He probably threw him a hitch, and he ran 80 yards.
It was a bubble screen.
Do you know what Clayton said? Here are the guys who threw his touchdowns. All of them by Marino, a few by Favre. You guys were together up in Green Bay. And he said, one by Jaws and one by Scott Secules. Those are the Mark Clayton career touchdowns.
One touchdown. And they call you an alumni here?
I'm sorry this is a blowout that we had to get to this stuff, you know.
I bet you don't even get a parking spot.
No, heck no.
But Don Shula was your coach.
Yep.
You got to back up Marino there that one year.
And boy, what an unbelievable coach and human being Don Shula, boy. There's a rock right there.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, the carry. Well, you add up all the bizarre things that have happened for the Patriots tonight, and you do have something you haven't seen in the 9 decades of the NFL, what the Patriots accomplished tonight. First team in league history to score a touchdown rushing, passing, a pick six, kickoff return, and return of a blocked field goal in the same game. There it is.
I told you there's history here somewhere about an hour ago, and more things happen.
The thing I like about this is Tom Brady is still at quarterback. Yeah. And people at home are saying, why is Tom Brady still playing quarterback?
I'm asking that question. He need to be at home.
I asked Tom Brady, I said, how many reps do you give Brian Hoyer, your backup quarterback, on the practice field? He says none. I don't give him any reps unless Coach Belichick makes me give him reps. Nobody is going to take any reps from me. I'm the quarterback, period. I believe that's the way Tom Brady wants
that's
it.
And Brian Hoyer's over there. Can I get on the field a little bit?
Where'd Brady go to school?
Michigan.
Where'd Hoyer go to school?
Michigan.
The state. State.
Now this guy
they don't
really,
let Sparties get in there.
This guy loves enjoying victories. He loves to be out there with his teammates.
Hoyer's an undrafted guy, too. Brady was very, very high in praise of. Really likes what he's done his couple of years backing up as Green Ellis carries the back end of the game. You mentioned Brady and Belichick together. This will be win 100 as a head coach quarterback combo. Want perspective on that? Of course, they've got 3 Super Bowls to go with it. Only 2 combo with more. The 4 Super Bowls, Bradshaw and Knoll, they had 107 regular season wins. And the guys we were talking about earlier, Marino and Shula with 116. Getting to that Super Bowl in Danny's second year. Able to get the victory there.
Every great coach has one of these, a great quarterback, and vice versa. I really think it's a battery that you have to dominate.
Green Ellis will stay in bounds and get close to the first down, and we'll get to the 2-minute warning here in Miami. 5 touchdowns in the second half by the Patriots. Something they've only done before in 1961 and 1980. It's given Miami a long 13 days to ponder. I can tell you this. The Patriots were not in a very good mood before this game. They were pretty stirred up by this, and I can tell you that guy, Bill Belichick, was pushing the button to these guys as he addressed them here in the hours before kickoff, reminding them of, guys are down on you. They say that you guys are making too many mistakes. You're not going to get it. A lot of you guys in this room were passed up. He was appealing to that kind of chip on the shoulder mentality and creating some of that cohesion that a young team needs. And Mr. Belichick pushed the right buttons here tonight, and his team came up with a big effort in the extra areas to get a big road win. And a win where Randy Moss didn't catch a ball for the first time in his Patriots career.
It was all about the Miami Dolphins. That's all he talked about. They were 1-4 their last 5 road games. They wanted a road victory. But Bill Belichick rallied his football team, brought them to South Florida, and got a convincing win, and found a lot of new contributors. He knows Randy Moss is going to be there for him, but Patrick Chung's going to feel good about himself. And Ninkovich, he's going to gain confidence in himself, and so will his teammates. A lot of these young players grew up tonight.
But, John, they weren't playing well defensively coming into this game. They were giving up over 27 points a game. The Buffalo Bills put 30 on them last week. So, you know, they were making mistakes. But I think to Bill's defense, they were correctable mistakes, and he got his guys playing as a unit more in harmony.
Brian Hoyer will get to come in as Tom Brady comes out. Look at that, huh?
That guy's something or what?
I think it doesn't mean anything. That's pretty interesting. That's a neat shot.
I thought it was mad that Bill took him out.
I think back to the Monday night game we did in New Orleans.
You don't see stuff like
when
that.
When the Saints cleaned these guys out, there was that shot of Brady and Belichick standing there trying to wonder what the heck's going on here. You know, we're not used to this.
That guy's on a mission. I know that.
Yep. Contrast that with tonight.
I hate to be in his way, too.
It's a New England team that won only one true road game last year. One of their other credited road wins was the game in London against Tampa Bay. Dominate the Dolphins 41-14. They're off next week and get the Ravens in Foxborough, followed by a visit to San Diego. And then Minnesota comes to New England. So no easy stretch ahead for the Pats. But they're tied with the Jets for the lead in the AFC East at 3-1. Full recap coming up on SportsCenter next with the coverage with Stuart Scott, Matt Millen, and Steve Young from here in Miami. Big night for the special teams of the Patriots. They beat Miami 41-14 with John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Michelle Tafoya, our great Monday Night Football crew. Mike Tirico saying good night from Miami. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Vikings-Jets in a week.
See you next week in New York.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.